Hey guys, so I've been doing a lot of stuff lately. Just gonna make that on pause. Doesn't really matter, but I wanted to give a challenge to the BeamNG community. Given my subscribers and stuff, probably nobody's gonna see it. But anyways, I've been having fun driving cars that are sport specs, so to say. Now, I'm gonna lay the rules out right now. If you want to skip ahead, I'll try to remember to put chapters in. If not, just skip probably 2-3 minutes ahead. It should be done. Anyways, here are the rules pretty quickly. If you have any questions, you can comment and I will most likely respond. Um, Basically, anything outside of the engine cannot be race spec. The only reason the engine is allowed to have race spec is because it is capped at 325 horsepower. Or brake horsepower, I believe they're shown the same, but try to put your metrics in like brake horsepower just so we're on the same page. Anyways, if there is, like in this car, a differential under the transmission, it cannot be a race limited slip differential. This is so that the driver's skill is slightly more shown, and also, well, a- it is a bit more within my capabilities because I can't make supercars that go very fast. Now, you'll see with the few runs that I will do, that I'll try to splice in, that the brakes will overheat quite often, and that's because they're limited to sport disc and sport pads. The wheels themselves also are limited to sport tires. The suspension is also limited to sport. Just like I said, anything outside of the engine cannot. This, uh, there are a few exceptions to this, I believe, and this is the radiator. Some vehicles, I believe, have race radiators. Carbon fiber parts, this is for bodywork. I allow anything that is or remains a car, so you can't just strip it entirely because it is sport. It has to be some sort of daily driver, not meaning that you can't have a sports car, meaning you can't tear the whole entire apart. You can't remove the back seats. You can't remove the little ledge at the back for some cars. You can put race seats because I'm heavily getting inspired from Initial D of some sort, where if you think you could get your hands on it, then yes. But that also means stuff like front aero, such as a front splitter, like this, is not allowed. So is a, for the trunk, a big spoiler, GT style spoiler, like this would be. This is not allowed. These are what I would call racing parts. These cannot be allowed. But this front lip down here, this custom front bumper, these side things, you can all remove those. You can replace the front bumper with another one. You can remove it. Also, another annoying part that you can remove is the front bumper support. It does literally nothing, but it weighs 15 kilograms. So those are pretty much the rules here. You have to keep your car in a car shape. You are limited to only sports part except for the engine, and you can't tear apart the interior. Those are pretty much all the rules that there are. Again, if you have any questions, you can ask them. And for tuning, you can do any tuning you want so long as the game allows you. So, just like you see here, most of this, except like this, is played with and tuned to what I want. The center differential, you can have a race. Or do you? Yes, I'll allow this, since this is a big part of tuning. And it is technically, I know some cars won't have anything else, so front differential, no, but this is under transmission, so I'll allow it. this is technically not, since this is for the front wheels, and since the rear isn't allowed, or in some cases the front isn't allowed, because like in the SBR4, it's rear engine, and the rear differential is here instead of the front. Anyways, those are all the rules. Now, time to start the runs. I would normally put music, but I just guess I won't. I won't be speaking for these parts, so so I can concentrate. That was a pretty clean lap. I'm actually surprised I managed to do it in one go. But I'll probably just pause the recording in a few seconds, tune the other car. But yeah, so that was pretty much demonstration lap. I'm quite surprised because I've beaten my best of before. If I can, is it still marked down here? No, it isn't. But I had done an 8:11.4, and now I've done 8:10.2, so shaved up a few seconds. So time for this one to go in the ditch, the other one to get placed, and I'll clarify a few things. If you do go outside, it's whatever if you want to continue or not, but it will be counted as probably a minimum of a 5-second penalty. And yeah, so I'll pause this, check if this car's tuned or not, and yeah. Alright, so I've made the changes I wanted, and I'll just save it real quick. But also another thing I want to mention, the damage on your car, it is up to you if you want to finish or not. I don't really care too much how much it is damaged, so long as I know that isn't you having removed it at the start. Like, if you start and you just start ripping parts out to make the car lighter, then of course there's a limit, but yeah. So anyways, I'll mute myself again and start another run. My neck hurts after that one. 8089. I think that is one of the best times I'm ever going to set with these configs, at least. Just imagine how much faster it could go if we had just semi-race brake pads or just full race brake pads. Because then you would never overheat them, and you would never have to brake early. The thing here that would make the biggest difference is racing tires, because those just make cars handle like if they were on rails. But of course, it's all part of the challenge. Anyways, there's a bunch of runs that happened with this car since it's rear-wheel drive, and I'll probably have put a note somewhere in the video, but I switched to my pedals. And I think that's what made the difference, because the real reason I switched to this one is because it accelerates out of corners faster than this, because I don't have to feather the throttle as much, though I started doing it on this one to get rid of the understeer. This one, I had to do it to get rid of the oversteer. Anyways, yep, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you try this challenge too, even if you don't show a run on your channel or something. Hopefully you have the same fun as me. See ya. So, I've had to add this a little bit because just after I said goodbye, um, I came back to testing, creating the next segment of series that I was going to make with this, that make to 375 brake horsepower and some other stuff that I will specify in that video. And then I came to this car, saying, well, I better make a version of it that has more power. And I realized that it wasn't already optimized, and that I could make more power out of it, which is what I did. And it turns out it's the most powerful of them all, because unlike the BX, it didn't have 301 brake horsepower for 322. It has 329 brake horsepower, foot-pounds of torque for 321 brake horsepower. So one less brake horsepower, but 28 more feet-pound of torque. Some little testing turned out it is faster, slightly, in acceleration, and also the suspension on it is the best out of these three. So I'll be racing this for, well, you'll only see the race in which I beat it, but anyways, I'll be muting myself, and as always, doing the race. kind of destroyed my previous record with this, didn't I? 7 minutes, 58 seconds, and 132. That is a whole 10 seconds faster. Does this mean I lost some time some places because I saw some 15 seconds faster than my normal pace at some places? But still, overall, a very solid run and a good challenge for you guys. So I've got some editing to do because there's plenty of failed runs. If ever you want to see them, I'll keep the content just in case. And maybe I'll make a compilation of that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you try the challenge or just make a couple configs like this and try to see if you like this. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in another video. See ya!